All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today at the LOWLINC Monthly Speaker Series meeting. We're very excited about the presentation today. All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Health and Wellness team member, Lynn Fogarty, and she is going to introduce our presenter. Yep. And don't forget before you leave to fill out your survey. Okay, Lynn.
If y'all are anything like me, you are in denial about getting old, but we have to at some point face it and get our homes ready for us to be safe in them. So today we have Jodi Phillips with us. She is a certified aging in place specialist, a certified senior home safety specialist, and she's a former physical therapy assistant. She's also the owner of TruBlue of Culpeper, which helps people stay in place safely. Welcome to Jodi.
Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Jean, for inviting me here to present for all of you lovely people. That's exactly right. How I got a little introduction, a little bit more about me. My name is Jodi Phillips. I am still a licensed physical therapist assistant for a couple more months. My license will expire in December, and I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to renew that or not. When I was starting to look into finding solutions, so a little bit more backstory. I graduated from PTA school in 2020 at the height of COVID. And I took the first job I could get because what else was I supposed to do? I was a single mom of 3 kids. So I took the first job that I could, and pretty quickly I realized that there was an ongoing problem where I was seeing the same patient over and over again for the same kind of problem. And a lot of times it was a preventable issue. So flash forward about 2 more years, and I start working, I move, I do all kinds of things as life goes, right? I do all kinds of things, and I end up working for Dogwood Health and Rehab in Orange. And there I noticed the problem a lot more. And I love my job as a physical therapist assistant, and I would spend diligent time, 8, 12, 16 weeks, and fully rehab my patients whom I love. I would do a whole care plan for them. I would sit down with their daughters and their sons and their husbands and their wives, and I would send them back home. And on Monday morning, they would be back. And I was so frustrated. So after a little while, I started thinking, there has to be a solution. There has to be a solution to this problem because I'm a problem solver and I want solutions, just like I'm sure most of you want solutions. So I started doing some research. What was going to be the solution? I needed someone that I could call or that I could refer my patients to that I could trust, that knew about aging, and could help people be safe in their homes without having them spend tens of thousands of dollars on it. So if you've ever found yourself in that situation, how did that go for you? Could you find somebody? Could you call somebody today that you could trust, that was certified, that knew what they were talking about, that wasn't just a handyman off the street throwing a grab bar in your bathroom and saying, good luck, where's my $500? No solution, right? And I'm sure you all have run into this. So I said, I'm the solution. Another change came down the pike. And we had the return to work. And so my husband and I both at the same time were looking for something different. That's how we came upon TruBlue, but that's not why I'm here today. I'm here to talk about becoming a certified aging in place specialist. A little bit more about a certified aging in place specialist. Certified aging in place specialist is recognized by the National Association of Home Builders, and many contractors can have access to this. It is an expensive program with lots of training, and it's specific for home modifications for elderly or accessibility. Because you don't have to be elderly or aging to need increased accessibility to your house. You could be young, you could have cerebral palsy, you could have a degenerative muscular disease that you were born with, you could be 20 years old. So it's not just about aging, but aging does happen to be in the title. All right, so Age Safe America. Age Safe America does home evaluations from the time you get out of your car, in your driveway, or in your garage, and carries you through your whole entire house. So I'm going to kind of use a home safety assessment, which is a 240-point assessment, 240 points. I'm not going to go through every single one for you guys today, but I'm going to use it as a guide of some things to think about when you go home today, when you go into your house, or when you get out of your car, step out of your car. Look around a little bit, and I bet you're going to find a couple of things right off the bat that are going to stand out to you. And I'm also going to show you some things that you can do right off the bat, out of my little bag of tricks over there, for very little money, and without having to find a handyman to do it for you, okay? So that's my presentation in a nutshell. I hope we can get through it together. I'm a little bit wordy, and I might be a little nervous because I've never done this one before, so hang in there with me. We're gonna do it together. All right, so, ta-da! Okay, all right. So we're gonna start with injury solutions. There are a few first questions that you're gonna see, and I'm gonna pass this around too so you guys can kind of check it out. When I pull up in front of your house, I'm gonna ask a few questions. Is there adequate lighting? Fall's coming, we were just talking about fall. Is there adequate lighting? What condition is the sidewalk or the driveway? Is it gravel? Are they smooth? Are there any cracks? Do you have a handrail or not? So those are just a few things that I'm gonna look for, and you can look for, and you could probably answer right now all of those questions because you go in and out of your house every day. So one of the first things on the list is a motion sensor light. So I'll start with that out of my little bag of tricks. I went to Lowe's. All these products cost me less than $60, okay? Total, not individually, total. This one's my favorite, well, my second favorite. So when it comes to motion sensor lights, this, and I'm gonna pass it to you and you can pass it around. This is a motion sensor light bulb, okay? You do not have to upgrade your electrical to have motion sensor lighting. All you have to do is buy a light bulb with a switch on it. You can pick any color light you want. I suggest the brightest. And it will automatically come on when you show up or walk around it. Guess how much this light bulb costs? Anybody guess?
$6.
It's actually just under 20. Just under $20, okay? It's really cool. I think it's really cool. So that's one of my first things. I'm gonna see if I can reach you. So it's an expensive light bulb, but how much would it cost for you to hire an electrician to come out and put a motion sensor light at your house? How much do you think? A little bit more than 20 bucks. To get them to show up, it's gonna cost you $250, and that's before they do anything. And that they might even charge you that to put that light bulb in. I can say that because that's what I do for a living. All right, so we're passing the light bulb. I love it. Next thing on the list. I actually didn't prepare it this way on purpose, but it kind of worked out. Okay, this is a levered door handle, okay? So one of the things that starts to happen, either through aging, but not necessarily through aging, is your grip, wrist strength, just your strength overall starts to decline. What happens in the wintertime to your grip strength? It gets a little harder to get in and out of your house, doesn't it? Door handle's cold, you're feeling weak, this past winter was brutal. If you have a lever door handle, it's gonna make it a lot easier for you to get in and out of your house. This isn't a fancy one, okay, I'll give you that. It's about $10. But I can tell you a story. It's not a fun story. I had a gentleman that I treated when I was a therapist who spent about 3 days on the ground outside of his house because he slipped trying to open his door handle He couldn't get a hold of it, and he slipped on some ice on his porch, fell off the porch, and he was there for 3 days. Almost lost his arm. I'm not trying to scare you. But anyway, a simple upgrade. This door handle, $10. Okay, the next one I don't have an example of, and I wish Lowe's sold these, but you can get a threshold ramp from an easy access or online. A threshold ramp will prevent a threshold trip or fall. They elevate 1 to 3 inches. It's a piece of rubber. You can put it right at the entry of your door. So if your foot is having a hard time getting over those ramps or those thresholds, that's something that you can put in front of your door. Another thing I don't have an example of is a handrail. Adding a handrail to your concrete steps is a pretty simple thing to do, but this would be something that you might want to hire somebody for, not necessarily a DIY thing, but it is something you can do. It's an easy solution. Add handrails, anti-slip treads. This is another thing you can do. This is just your entryway. We haven't even gotten the hats yet. So again, all these cute little products I got at Lowe's yesterday for less than $60. This is anti-slip tread tape. If you were around last winter during the ice, I hope you all have this on your concrete porch steps now, because you're going to need it. This stuff right here can keep you and your dog and your little grandkids from falling down your front steps. Again, I'm pretty sure this was less than $20. I think it was $10. Anti-slip tape. They also have this in a wider, like full depth tread sizes too. Those are $9.98 a piece. But something simple that you can add on your stair that's going to add some slip resistance to make it safer for you to come in and out. Another great place is on your garage floor for this kind of stuff. I feel like I picked the wrong special assistant here. Okay, I threw also on this list a security camera. These are coming more and more prevalent for folks to have at their entryways, a security camera. In this sense, they do make a lot of different types. They make ones just like that light bulb that you can screw in and activate with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. The reason why I would say it would be a great upgrade to have a security camera on your front porch isn't necessarily to see, who's leaving bags of dog poo-poo on your stoop. It's more so friends and family could see if you didn't make it in your house that night, because you don't want to be laying out there. So it's just something to keep in mind. It does make it a little bit easier for you, especially if you have family that lives far away, or neighbors that don't check on you, or if you live in a more remote area. Just something to think about. Again, I'm not trying to scare you. This is supposed to be a fun presentation. Okay, so we're getting through the entryway. This actually, this handrail was installed right here in Orange for a young lady who tripped here and broke her jaw on that porch. Yeah, those handrails are less than $100. So just something to think about. You guys can stop me and ask questions at any point. Next. All right, a few other little things. You can put little lights along your sidewalk. Those you can buy at Lowe's. Longer handrails also available. And then this is kind of when you're really getting into the nitty-gritty and you're now on wheels instead of on your feet. There's a big range of costs for ramps. I can definitely give you more information about that if you're interested, but just different options and things there.
You get them for free, too.
You can also get them for free. Shannon is correct. Sharon. It's not that easy, though. You have to work pretty hard to get them for free, but it is possible. She might be able to help you with more information on that.
Especially if you're a veteran.
Veterans, yes. Yes. There are definitely more programs and things like that for veterans. That's true. Okay. Am I going too fast? Any questions or anything? Everybody's doing good? Hanging in there? Okay. All right. So I asked my computer, as we all use AI now, to come up with, a generic living room. I have 2 dogs and a bunch of kids, so this is not my living room. But just to give us an idea, this is an average living room in most people's houses. So what I'm going to talk about is just a few things that you can do in your living room, because that, believe it or not, it's not your bathroom where we fall the most. It's your living room. Why do you think that is?
Rugs.
Could be rugs. That's right. could be rugs. Now, as a therapist, when I was working as a therapist, one of the first things that we told people was to get rid of them. How easy is that? Anybody had any luck with that? No. And I can't blame you. They're cute and they make your house cozy and they're soft underfoot. And this is not something I would necessarily recommend as a therapist. Okay, so don't hang me on this one. But if you can't get rid of your rug, tape it down. Okay? There's lots of different options for rug tape. They're very strong. If you don't want to get down on the floor, you have vertigo or some other kind of thing, get someone else to do it for you. Tape down the corners of your rug. Takes a few minutes. Can keep you at home. It's less than $10. Think about how much it would cost you when you got hospitalized. How much is your insurance going to pay for? So, $10. Just some rug tape. Very simple. This, like I said, this is just stuff I picked up at Lowe's. Okay. You want to pass around my rug tape? All right. All right. Another thing. These are also, I'm still following along with my questionnaire. Another thing in entryway, another thing we all have, and there's not much we can do about it, is pets. Pets are one of the biggest tripping hazards in an older folks' home. Cats and dogs are they're one of the biggest tripping hazards. I think my mom fell on her dog 5 times. I don't really know the solution to that, other than at night, if you can bring yourself to have your pet in a separate place, or even keep your pet in a crate at night, because it's at night that it's going to happen most of the time. So just something to think about. Pet crate isn't very expensive. All right, a few things. Again, motion sensor lighting. You know, it's kind of dark, right? It's dark in here. There's lots of shadows when your eyes start to, like this has been the saddest thing that's happened to me when I turned 40. I had to start wearing glasses all the time. I used to wear contacts, but that's gone away. So anyway, lighting changes, things like that. So having bright lighting up above, task lighting, and floor level lighting like night lights, and more lighting, right? It's really dark. It's really dark. So there's motion sensor light bulbs. Again, you can put lever door handles in your house too. Makes it easier getting in and out. Putting up your cords. I think we've all talked about and seen cord covers and things like that to have your lamp cords and things off the floor. Most of these things are pretty easy to find, and they're less than $10. I didn't bring one with me today. They're pretty common, and most people know about them. But I know not too many know about offset hinges. Does anybody know what an offset hinge is? No? So, yeah, Lowe's didn't sell this. Very sad, very sad. Walmart might, but you can definitely get them online. An offset hinge changes the pivot point of a hinge to behind the door, so that when you open the door, it opens past the jamb and gives you 2 extra inches of space. Where can you think of that would matter for you? Yeah, because they put really little doors on bathrooms, don't they? They think that you're just going to scoot in there sideways or something. And what if you get one of those really cool knee scooters because you have to keep your weight off a foot or something? How are you going to drive around in that? The hinges are usually about $10 a piece, but it's a lot less expensive than hiring a contractor to take out your door, trim, and the whole thing, widen it open, okay, and put a whole new door on there. You can just replace the hinges. Sorry, I'm touching your TV. So, just a few things there, and that's my little example. I had thought about coming in here with a wheelchair because I thought it would really make my presentation dramatic, but I couldn't get one in time. All right, another few things, and this is maybe down the road. People, things. I'll touch on grab bars a little bit. Everybody knows about grab bars, and grab bars are kind of one of my favorite things to talk about. But you can put them in your hallway. You can put them in your bedroom. You can put them in your kitchen. They don't only have to be in your bathroom. You can put them wherever you want to have one. I've put them everywhere in people's houses. So if you have a narrow hallway and you can't get a wheelchair or a rolling walker down the hallway, put bars along the sides. And you can just use the bars. Plus your grandkids would love them. Okay, How far have we got? Now we're into the kitchen. A lot of people think you fall a lot in the kitchen. And I think it's because we're being active in the kitchen. We don't actually fall that much in the kitchen. We spend a lot of time in there. We're pretty comfortable. And they make kitchens pretty accessible. But there are some things that you can add to your kitchen. Again, lighting. Lighting's always going to be the thing. Put in some brighter light bulbs. That's an easy upgrade, right? But let's talk about pull-out shelves. Rev a Shelf makes pull-out shelves. I didn't bring them because they're huge. You can put pull-out shelves and, just instead of having to stoop way down on the floor, I can still do that, and reach way in the back to get your pots and pans, you can just pull it out. Nice and easy. Access it easy. You start to get more vertigo and dizziness. As we age, our vision changes. Anytime you're bending over, it gets harder, right? So pull-out shelves is a great and easy upgrade. Another thing in my fancy picture is moving your faucet to the side of your sink. I couldn't get AI to do that for me. Now, you might need a handyman to do this, but if you move your faucet to the side of your sink right here, it makes it a lot easier to reach. It's pretty easy to do, and an average plumber can do it for you. Also, changing from a knob faucet to a lever faucet makes it a lot easier to turn the water on and off with your wrist instead of having to use your hand and your grip. Most faucets are about $100, but it's just an easy accessibility feature for your kitchen. What else do we have here? Anybody else notice anything? I think that's about it. Talked about doorways and everything. Okay, now we're to stairs. Another thing, every single time we go through this, little products and things, we're thinking about lighting, we're thinking about anti-slip, we're thinking about added handrails. So when you're coming onto your stairs, take a look at your stairs. Some people in older homes, they only have a stair rail that goes part of the way. So you might want to be able to extend that the full way. And also stair lifts are another option, but that's a little bit more costly. Today we're just talking about things that you can access pretty easily. So those are some options when it comes to stairs. All right, still doing okay out there? All right, next step, we're gonna go to, I feel like I'm going kind of fast, your bathroom. So this is an average American bathroom. I think most of us, this is what our bathrooms more or less look like.
Not that clean.
Right, more or less. AI generated this for us, so there's probably a lot less in this picture. But just looking at this picture, I can point out a handful of problems if you're looking for accessibility and accessibility features. You got a tub. That's right. What else do you notice about this picture? This can make it a little hard to access.
That shower is way too high for me.
You can't reach the shower. Anybody else? Anything else in here?
No grab bar.
There is no grab bars here. Okay?
It's a knob handle on
You got a knob handle on the door. All right? You guys are awesome at this. This is a standard height toilet.
toilets too.
Right? So
So far down.
it's so far down. Also, I would venture that this is going to be hard to reach for most of my lovely young ladies.
Yes.
You're going to have a hard time reaching that towel. You're going to want it over here, a little closer to the front of the sink. And that's just us sitting in a room together looking at a picture that's an average bathroom, right? So let's see, what else could we change here? Also, this AI really didn't know how many neighbors were here. I'm just kidding, okay. All right, so let's talk about bathrooms. Everybody wants to talk about. Now, this bathroom isn't very clean or pretty. Okay, I get this. But this was a young lady who hadn't been able to take a shower in about 3 years. And probably didn't have a lot of funds either. So this is a great product that they have available now. This is called a clean cut. They have the clean cut version or the quick tub version. Okay? So I think a lot of people, when they think about bathrooms, they think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to spend $40,000 renovating this bathroom and I don't have it. So I guess I'm just gonna bird bath in my sink until the end of days. Well, I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. Okay? A quick tub cutout in the matter of a couple of hours can transform your tub that you can't step in and out of to a very easy access tub. Now, this is the only tub that they had in their home. So we left it so the option, this piece right here can stay in or come out, okay? So if you still want to be able to use the tub, you can leave this portion in here, and you can still fill your tub up like you would. Or you can take this out, and it lowers the threshold side of the tub to 6 inches. Big difference than the top, right? It's a very big difference. These are very affordable. You don't have to demo your whole bathroom. Takes less than a day, and you can use it the same day if you want. So this is a great option for a lot of people. They're very accessible. The product itself is less than $500. Some of them are even less than that. If you don't have the need to keep it a tub, it's even less. So this is a great option if you don't want to do a whole tub to shower change out. Has anybody ever had someone quote them a tub to shower change out? How much?
We did one in my house, it was $9,000.
Yeah. That didn't include anything else. That was just the tub to the shower, I bet you.
Shower, yeah.
Yeah, no bells and whistles.
And we did tile.
Yeah. Yeah.
We put 2 grab bars in.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's an average price. I would say that's a competitive price for a tub to shower change out. Something like this is going to be way less than half of that, maybe even a quarter of that or less.
So do they cut part of that tub out?
Yes. Yeah, so they have a template. It cuts the side of the tub out. They place this brace in there, and then they put this in. I wish I had one with me to show you guys because they're real cool.
It looks like a metal tub. Does it also work with...
Metal or plastic.
Okay.
Yeah, any kind of tub. This was an old metal tub that I thought was a great example because it's an older house. It's a cast iron tub. Worked just fine. She hasn't had any issues with it. Like I said, in this upgrade, we did add a couple of grab bars here and a toilet riser. That's another product option. Toilet risers, actually, I like because of dignity. One of the things that I really hate to see people push on folks that are aging is hideous hospital grade looking stuff. I hate it. You've spent your whole life making your house gorgeous and beautiful, and now you have this ugly hospital looking stuff everywhere. I can't stand it. I also think that we should have grace and dignity at any age of our life. And a lot of these products and things that we're talking about, that's the goal. You know, you don't want people to come in and make it feel like a sterile hospital in your house, right? You want it to feel like home still. So one of those options is, there's two options for like your toilet, because we talked about the toilet being too low, right? So you can either buy a new toilet, and it's called a comfort height toilet. Comfort height toilets, range in price. What makes it a comfort height toilet is it's 19 to 20 inches tall. They're real tall, especially for little ladies. The feet will be dangling. You'll need a step stool on that toilet. But my tall gentlemen, they really like the comfort height toilets, especially when their hips and knees are starting to ache and give them a hard time, or their ankles and things. And they're very elegant and pretty. And then the other option would be, if you don't want to get a whole new toilet, you're just really attached to the throne that you have, is a toilet riser. And that goes underneath the base of your toilet. The benefit to that is, I'm sure every single one of you have seen those hideous things that sit on the top of your toilet. They're like super thick looking toilet seat things, and they're ugly. This is a riser, it goes underneath, and it's very discreet. You also can adjust the height to whatever you want it to be, because not everybody's 6'2". You know, some of us are dainty, okay? Not me, but some of us are. Okay, so there's the toilet thing. That's one of my bugaboos. This is a option. This was a tub to shower pan change out. This is just a low threshold. You can also do 0 entry. Those are much higher options, but this is more what I wanted to focus on today. And then, you know, your grab bars. My other cool little doodad that I brought, actually downgraded my doodad. My initial doodad was satin nickel, but I was trying to keep my costs really low. My goal was to keep it under $100, so I was really happy. Is the handheld shower attachment. This is a suction cup handheld shower. So if you're kind of to the point that you're sitting more, when you're taking a shower just for comfort or leisure, or you're a Victorian lady now or a gentleman and you just want to sit in the shower and luxuriate forever, but you still want to be able to reach your handheld. This is a great little doodad. The suction cups to the wall, and you can just set that sucker in there and it holds it for you. Instead of laying it where? On the ground, or trying to stick it in the towel thing that's on the side of your fiberglass shower while it's spraying you in the face and everything else. So, this is my last little doodad to pass around. Now, they have the stainless steel one or the satin nickel. I didn't do that one. Like I said, I was trying to save you guys some money when you go to Lowe's and buy these fancy doodads. That one's like, I don't know, $10. The satin nickel one was like $20, I think, which I thought was too much. So, anyway, that's a little doodad that you can throw in your shower to hold your handheld. You can also, for about $20 from Culpeper Home Medical, get a longer hose if you need one for your little handheld. And it just, screws into where your shower faucet thing is and has a little button on the side. You can turn it off and on. It's very simple. And for $20, $30, you can sit on your shower chair. You have a place to put your handheld. It's safer, it's accessible, and it didn't cost you $1 million. So, great things are out there.
What's that type of thing called again?
So that's a quick tub.
Quick tub.
Yeah. They also have another version called, I have a TruBlue.
The clean cut?
Clean cut. Somebody was taking notes. So there's two versions. They're not that different from each other. It's kind of like, KFC and Popeyes. They're both selling fried chicken, just a little bit different seasoning. Some people might object to that. I don't know. Get some looks. Okay. All right. Another thing I wanted to talk about, it's not in this picture. I do have another bathroom that I can show, another great option, and a lot of people don't think about this. They really were old-fashioned considering now, but something that I like is a pedestal sink instead of a vanity. And you think of why a pedestal sink might be a better option than a vanity. It's not for storage. Wheelchair. Also, it's a lot easier to push a walker or a rollator up to a pedestal sink than it is a vanity sink with a cabinet. Sink base of a pedestal sink tends to be all sink, so it's up close to you. So if you're sitting in a wheelchair, you can reach the sink parts. Or in a standard vanity, it's like 6 inches from the front of the vanity to the center of the sink, which you're not going to be thinking about right now while you're up and walking around. But if you ever get into a wheelchair, those couple of inches are going to make the world of difference for you. And it's a simple thing. A pedestal sink is a very simple change out instead of a vanity. Plus, it gives you a lot more floor space in your bathroom as well. Vanities take up a lot. And if we're talking about our first picture, right, I'm going to go back. You don't have a ton of room in your average bathroom, do you? And you probably have a very narrow doorway as well. So you're fighting with a piece of equipment, about 4 square feet of flooring space, and maybe even a helper in this, right? I know that some people have been in that situation, and so the more space you can squeeze out of your tiny bathroom without having to bust down a wall, the better. So just maybe those are some more long-term considerations. Maybe not some right now considerations. Did I forget about anything? Let me look at my list.
I've got a question.
Yes.
The bump going over where you go into the bathroom and a couple other rooms where there's a difference between the flooring. What's the best thing to cover that with? You trip on that if you're not really careful.
So the question is, what options do you have if you have a flooring change threshold that's different heights? Okay, so what we're asking about, I'm very familiar with this, and I've actually run into this since I've been doing this. Parkinson's. This is a major issue if you have Parkinson's, neuropathy, drop foot, heavy foot, diabetes, any of it. Your feet kind of scuffle along the floor, right? And that just kind of happens as we age anyway, too, because we don't want to pick our feet up as high. It's kind of scary. So the threshold difference can, a half an inch can mean, the difference between you can make it over it or you're not. There's a ton of options. Some of them are very, very tasteful. You can get a wood threshold. It's just a piece of wood that you can buy at Lowe's. You can stain it to match your hardwood or your trim, or you can paint it to match anything in your house. I'm trying to think. It has a different sizes. So one side, so if you're going from carpet to linoleum or tile, it'll have a thicker part on one side and a thinner part on the other side, but it'll make it like a little tiny hump. So there's no edge to trip on. Does that make sense? Is everybody following what I'm saying? I don't have an option of that. I can't show that. I have done this in someone's house, though. I wish I had the picture of it and I would show it to you. Her husband had Parkinson's and this was a major issue for him. And the threshold was maybe that tall. He couldn't make it over it without falling. So we pulled that one up and put in what I'm talking about, stained it to match her pretty hardwood floors, and he hasn't had an issue since. It's a pretty low cost thing too. And I think an average DIYer could do it. If you felt confident. You could also hire someone for that too if you don't feel comfortable. But there is an option for sure. I know that's a major thing. Any other questions as far as that goes? Am I covering everything?
I'm thinking about the entrance to the house.
Mm-hmm.
When you come in the door and you're stepping up into that, and there are a couple of things, you're stepping over there.
Mm-hmm. So they do make a product exactly for that reason. I talked about that a little bit earlier. So she's asking about entryway thresholds. Entryway thresholds can be a big difference. Even if you have a zero entry house, they're still going to have a little door jamb a lot of times. It's not going to be flat with the ground, right? You don't want the mice and snakes to run into your house.
I've got stuff.
So they do make a small, Easy Access. Easy Access is a company that makes ramps and rubber threshold ramps that you can shave down to the height that you want them to be. I don't know the cost of these off the top of my head, but they're rubber and they can just push right up against your threshold and make that issue kind of go away, where you can go in and out. And they also make ones that go fully over the threshold as well. So you'll have the little ramp that comes up and then on the other side too. Yeah. Same company, makes the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's definitely an option. Anything else as far as that goes? Are you good?
What do you think about the tubs, the insert tubs? That are you planning on talking about those? Because a lot of people are getting those.
The walk-in tubs.
And for the people at home, just repeat the question, please.
Okay, so the question was, what do I think specifically, myself, about walk-in tubs? First of all, the price tag is outrageous.
Start there.
Let's start there. The tub itself is $7,000. Why are they selling these to people who have limited incomes and whatever else? So we'll talk about that. First of all, the cost is outrageous. Second of all, something they don't tell you about. Do you know you can't fill the tub with the door open?
Yes.
Gotta be sitting in there.
Can't get out without it going out.
All right, so if you're a multitasker who likes to take a tub, you're going to have to sit in that sucker for 45 minutes
You better have a big water tank.
while you're filling it up with almost hot water. Do you typically sit in your tub while you're letting the water out after it's gotten too cold?
You will.
You will be when you have a walk-in tub that somebody convinced you to buy.
I had a friend who had one.
So, if you like sitting in a lukewarm tub of water for a really long amount of time, go for it. I support it 100%. But that's just how I feel about it. There's going to be a lot of people. Now, I do think there's some benefits. They're not all bad. They're not all bad. They are, let's make a pro-con chart here. Okay, so the cons, we'll start with those because we already did. Super expensive, almost said something else, but I'm trying to keep it nice here today. Really unrealistic if you have a life outside of sitting in a tub. You can't be left alone, especially if you have any stability issues whatsoever. So if you're an older person with a caregiver, that person has to sit with you too. So they can't be doing your laundry or making your lunch for when you're ready to get out. So that's a few things. And you have to stay in it till it empties out completely. Now, think about this. Have you ever sat in your tub while it's emptying out? How pleasant is that? Have you done that? Okay, now I'm going to tell my husband because he's not here, but he will be watching this, so I'm sorry, Michael. But my husband loves a tub. He does. God bless him. He really does. And he does sit in his tub after the water goes out and just kind of like marinates in the steamy room while it looks like a freshly cooked lobster. But I can't stand the thought of half-used bath water dripping down off of me. So anyway, do what you want. The pros are if you have muscle degeneration or arthritis or pain, these tubs are great. You can get them jetted. They're going to help with your pain. They're fantastic, and I think that's what sells some people on them. They have cute little seats in them so you can just walk in and walk out. And of course, the lady in the commercial, she's not using a wheelchair or anything, so she doesn't have any problems with it, right?
She's also thin.
She's super skinny. Let's be realistic.
Get a hot tub.
Get a hot tub and a shower. You'll be fine. Okay, that's my rant on those ridiculous walk-in tubs. If the rep calls me tomorrow, I'm gonna send him your way.
Deny.
Deny. Okay, I am gonna touch lightly on grab bars because I think that's what most people think about when they're talking about accessibility. You can't have a conversation about accessibility without talking about grab bars, and I think I'm going way long. But grab bar options have changed a lot. There's so many things to choose from, and they're really cool and awesome. You can make it look like they're not grab bars at all, but they're still ADA rated and classified to be used as a grab bar. They can look like a towel bar. They can be really cute and wavy. You can have ones that go around your faucet and make it look like a spaceship. You can have ones that are shaped like an L, so you can use it standing up or sitting down. Cool. You can have them super duper long or super short. Don't recommend anything under 18 inches. Don't even waste your time on under 24, to be honest. Am I wrong? It's a waste of your money. So you can also, I'm sorry, Charles. Get them in fancy finishes to match what you already have.
Or what you want.
So it doesn't have to be hospital-looky, you know? Grabbars.com, I'm not a representative for them technically, but you can get them in this beautiful rose gold color. You can get them in brushed, oil-rubbed bronze, satin nickel, matte black, whatever you fancy. So it can blend in with your existing fixtures. It doesn't have to stand out and look like the ones that you see, at the rest stop. So anyway, this one's a really fancy one. They are a little bit more expensive when they look this cool, okay, but they're worth it. So this is just my little option, one of my options. So yeah, lots of options when it comes to grab bars. The other one I've seen, and this happens a lot with Parkinson's and things like that, toilet paper holders. People rip those suckers off the wall. I have a grab bar that's specifically a grab bar and toilet paper roll holder because it's right there on the edge. And I worked in therapy, so I can talk about this. But you're going to be trying to pull your cheek up off of one side, right? You're going to use that toilet paper roll holder because it's close. If you have a grab bar one, it won't fall out the wall as easy. Shouldn't fall out the wall at all if you hire the right person to install it. Okay. Are we good? Any other questions about grab bars and
One
things?
more. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I get the stick-on kind, the suction cup. Is that bad?
What's, the question from the madam in the front row is, I get the suction grab bar. Is that bad?
Yes.
They work so far.
If it's installed properly, it works.
It's very important to install them properly.
Yes.
But as soon as a little bit of gross grime or any moisture gets behind it, it's going to pop right off of there. And you don't want to test it with yourself. Hopefully it happens to somebody else.
Isn't anybody else?
I would recommend one that's affixed to studs. There's lots of doodads out there now that are like little spacers and stuff that people are selling, that these are really, this is a good replacement for a stud. No, it's not. I'm sorry, no, it's not.
Those suction grab bars, if I can intercede, is they're really good for like sink surfaces, like on top.
Yeah.
Where you just want to stabilize yourself at the front of the sink, not something that you're going to put on a drywall, because the drywall can rip and it's not connected to anything on the drywall. So there are ways to use those that are safer, I guess. Maybe even in the shower, wouldn't you have a good surface to stick
Yeah,
it
that's
onto?
where I use them, is in the shower.
Yeah, so the commentary from the audience is that when you're using a suction grab bar, it's best to use it on a flat horizontal surface, not a vertical surface. And I would agree with that, being the best use of those suction ones. Okay, are we good? We're doing good here.
It's really good for travels.
And travel, yeah, if you're going to a hotel. Some other rooms that we haven't really talked about would be the laundry room. Again, we're going to be talking about lighting, appliance height. One of the appliances where are the appliances in your house? If your laundry room is downstairs, did you know that you could put it upstairs? And that's pretty easy because they make an all-in-one unit now, where you just put the laundry in, set the button, and leave, and then it comes out fluffed and dried. Not folded yet, but we're getting That's what the caregiver is for. So that's another option. Another scary story for you, because I did come into this because I was a therapist looking for solutions. And I kept getting these horrible stories of lovely people that I fell in love with and having these horrible experiences at home. And I had this gentleman, sweet as can be. His lovely wife unfortunately had passed away. And as is with the generation, I'm sorry you guys, most of the women are still doing all the laundry, right?
Right.
Okay, but she unfortunately passed away, leaving him to carry the laundry torch. And his laundry room was downstairs. Now, she had a little method of doing that, and some of you guys might have this method too, where she would take her laundry basket and just move it up one step at a time while she was coming up the step. Well, man knows no other way to do things. He carried his laundry basket full stop until he got to the top and his little dog was in the way. And then he was at the bottom of the stairs for 4 days. Yeah. He did okay, but that's another reason why I wanted to get into this business, into this profession, certified aging in place specialist. Because I could have gone into his home with my fancy dancy checklist and I said, this seems to be an issue. You have some limitations, some mobility limitations. I want you to still be able to access your home and do all the things you love to do, like laundry. Can we put your washer-dryer combo in your kitchen? Or another closet you have in your house? So it's accessible, and you don't have to go up and down the stairs anymore. And you don't even have to try to lift those heavy clothes out of the washing machine. You just leave them in there. And that would have prevented that fall, and that hospitalization, and that rehab stay, and unfortunately, ultimately, a long-term stay for that guy. So, something to marinate on that one. So I hope you guys, am I on the right timeline here? So I am going to go ahead and pass my little safety checklist. It's 240 points. I did not get through 240 points. I used it more as a guideline. But I'll pass it around so you guys can take a little peeky peek at it and just get an idea of different things, different rooms of your house, and give you something to think about when you go home. You could even take pictures of this checklist and go through your home. I do this for free, so if you want me to come and do it, just tell me and I'll come. I'd love to. And we can talk about different things you can do around your house. Yes?
Since we have a little bit of time, could you talk a little bit more about the shower entrance? You said the zero and the low height and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question is, since we have a little bit of time for more commentary, unless I'm forgetting something, was a little bit more about shower entry. I think this is like a big thing for people, is your shower, because that's what we want to be able to do every day. So you have multiple options. right? I talked about the tub cutout as being an option if you don't want to totally get rid of your tub and get something completely different. The other option is to take out your tub and replace it with a shower pan. You want to specifically look for a low entry shower pan or a low threshold shower pan. The difference is going to be a couple of inches, which can matter a lot to some people. You also want to look for a non-slip surface with a shower pan change out. The other option that you have is a zero entry shower. So what that means is zero barrier. You can roll in, you can roll out, you can skate in, you can skate out. They tend to be a little bit more expensive than a tub to shower change out. There are fiberglass options, which I bet a lot of you didn't know. They usually are sold as like fully tile. You tile the whole floor for a zero entry or a zero barrier, but they do have a fiberglass option. And what you have to do is lower your subfloor down and then put that in there. It's a little bit more plumbing involved with that, a little bit more complex or complicated, but it's not doable. Does that answer the question? Okay.
I have one more related question. So I remember at least they used to have one where it was like, I guess it was rubber or something, and you could, when you rolled over it went down and popped back up.
They still have that. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's just called a rollover shower threshold. So what we're asking about is when you have a zero barrier shower, what do you use to keep the water from coming out? And this is just a little strip of threshold that's soft that you can step on and it squishes down, but it springs back up as soon as you get on the other side of it. So it's just like a little piece of foam, basically. Yeah. Any others? Anything else come up for anybody?
Are there any government programs that give you tax relief if you do a major rehabbing for accessibility? Used to be.
I would love to answer more of that question for you. I think reaching out to resources through the Disability Resource Center would be my best recommendation. The Disability Resource Center is really going to be able to help you come up with either grants that you are eligible for. There is Virginia was just given they decided to do it again for the older adult home renovation. It's some sort of ridiculous acronym, but I can give you a good contact to talk to at the Disability Resource Center in Fredericksburg. They would give you a lot of information on lots of different programs. And like we started with, there's lots of programs for veterans, like Heroes Bridge is a great program to reach out to if you're a veteran or a loved one living with you is a veteran. They're very, very active around here. Heroes Bridge is. Yes.
What do you think of those, I can't think, the rubber suction-y things you used to put in your tub?
So they still have those. They're like so the question was, what is the name of those suction-y rubbery thingies? I don't know. That I feel mats. I feel like that's the best. Honestly, yeah, bath mats. Honestly, if I were to name a product, I would call it rubbery suction thingy. I think that would. I mean, because that's what people would ask for when they came in and asked for it. But they do make tape that you can put down in your tub. You really have to clean it good and put that down. They make mats that you can put down. Now on the other side of that, those bath mats can also convert to tripping hazards pretty easily, so you have to be careful with that. You want to make sure you pull them up every time you take a shower or anything like that, so that it can dry completely and you don't get funkiness under there and things like that. But those products are still available, and it's still, a moderate option if you're looking for something that you can just put in for anti-skid, anti-slip. Yes?
I was gonna say, moving the laundry room up off the kitchen, I did that about 8 years ago. That is the best thing you can ever do. We moved to a closet behind the dining room, and it fit in there. It was fabulous.
Yes, so that,
So it's that's a project that's worth doing, moving that laundry room
Yeah.
upstairs.
yeah, so the comment was that she had the opportunity to move her laundry room from downstairs to a closet behind her kitchen.
Yes.
And she said it was amazing, and it's been a great thing to do. So I highly recommend this. I highly recommend this to anybody who has the ability to do it. And a lot of these things, these bigger type things, you really have to start thinking about before you get to that point. You know, you talked about you did it 8 years ago, so you really were thinking into the future when you had already gotten tired of doing it.
3 months of going up and down the steps and just forget it.
Yeah, it's a really cool option. The washer dryer combo itself is an expensive appliance, but it costs about as much as it would cost to buy a washer dryer separate, which kind of makes sense. You have ventless options, which means you don't have to add ductwork. I don't know how I feel about that, but that is an option. And a lot of times you don't even really have to upgrade your electrical too much. You just have to have plumbing moved to the area, which if you're doing it in a kitchen, plumbing is already usually in your kitchen, if you have indoor plumbing in your kitchen. I mean, maybe you don't. No judgment for me. No judgment at all. Okay. The other thing we didn't talk about, and I was just kind of looking over my 240-point safety checklist, was the bedroom. We didn't talk about the bedroom much. One of the things with the bedroom, again, if you have carpeted flooring in there, and you get those little wrinkles in the carpet, you can smooth those back out. Okay, you can re-stretch your carpet. That is an option. Some people might not know that, but you can. Also, same thing with the cords. You can put all the cords and things up. But they also have a cool thing that you can attach to your bed that can help you sit up in your bed. You want to make sure you get the one that goes all the way to the other side of your box spring, though. So it goes across your whole bed and attaches that whole distance, not just a short one, because those can wiggle out pretty easily. But they make ones that go all the way across, and they have a thing on the other side of your mattress. It gives you something to kind of hang on to if you're rolling over or having a hard time with rolling over. So that they do have those in Lowe's, actually, when I was in there last time. So I did want to touch on that real quick.
If a doctor prescribes a hospital bed for you from the hospital, that's something your health insurance will pay for, right?
Medicare pays for that.
Medicare pays for that.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not a Medicare or Medicaid or any kind of specialist when it comes to that, but I have heard that. Yeah, I don't speak to that usually. But there's depending on the type of insurance you have or cover, maybe a house savings account too. Those kinds of things can pay for a lot of the more ambitious upgrades. The purpose of this presentation really was more to focus on things you could go to a Lowe's or on Amazon and just buy for not a whole lot of money. That was my purpose. I can talk about everything else too, though. Okay. Also in this checklist, you might see considerations. You might have a friend or a loved one, a family member or something that may be having a memory decline or memory. This is a big deal now, memory type diseases. There's more considerations I'm not going to go into today, but it's kind of the back list. So if you know somebody, there's some special considerations for someone who has or is suffering from a memory degenerative disease, which there's lots of different types. I think a lot of people don't know that either. Lots of different types. It's not just Alzheimer's. So just something else if you wanted, but I'm not using this today to talk about that. But that's all in all. Okay, we have some Q&A. Does anybody have any more questions? Yes?
This is going maybe a little beyond the quick, no, not time, beyond the quick and easy Lowe's level. But maybe are there a couple of things that come to your mind that you've seen that have made, like the top, made such a huge difference, changes in people's homes, and even if it costs something to do it, just kind of curious on your experience.
Yeah, so the question is, can I talk about how I can spend all your money in your house? No, just the question is, do I have some maybe top renovations that I've seen that have made the biggest impact for folks? I would say the laundry room, moving the laundry room is one of the biggest impacts in a day-to-day life. It's an expensive change, but that I think I really advocate for that if that's something that you can do, especially if your laundry room's on a different level than your main living level. The other thing is a zero entry shower. You really can't get around the fact that if you ever get to the point that you have to use a rolling device of any kind, this is going to be the easiest option for you as far as accessibility goes. Zero entry or zero barrier doesn't, there's a lot of different terminology for that. Those would be probably my top two. My next one is going to be a ramp. I think ramps can be expensive. So if you have a plan for it long term, you don't necessarily think about needing a ramp when you're still able to go up and down stairs. But you don't have to be in a wheelchair or using a rollator to benefit from having a ramp in front of your house. And you might have a joint replacement or something like that you need a ramp in front of your house. I think they make temporary ones, and they make permanent ones, and they make ramps that tie into your existing porch and things like that and look really beautiful. I've seen also where folks have taken alligator grip and screwed it into the ramp to make it really anti-slip too. So there's lots of options, but I think those three things are the biggest bang for your buck you're going to get if you're going to do home renovations.
Yes, I have a ramp in my garage because we couldn't get the garage high enough to be on the same level as the house. So the thing that's really great is that I can use it. I have a cart that I can roll down there, load it up with groceries, roll it back up into the house.
Yeah.
So I don't have to carry everything.
Yeah. So
Huge help.
yeah. So the comment was that even without using a wheelchair, power chair, or rolling walker, or any of that kind of thing, you can use your ramp to make it easier for you to do things like bring in your shopping without having to figure out how to carry some bags in one hand, navigate the stairs, navigate a door. You just put it in a cart and push it up and down. I think that's a great option and a great way to continue to have access. It's awesome.
I found one thing I did in my kitchen. I moved the dishes from the top cabinets to the lower cabinets.
Yes.
Huge difference.
I love that. And you're a petite one
Very
too.
short, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of went along when I had my little kitchen up here. I didn't really touch on that. But an OT or a PT that comes into your home, if you've had a shoulder surgery or anything like that, is going to make the recommendation to move your dishes and your frequently used things from your upper cabinets, which we're all used to them being up there. That's where our moms put them, and that's where we're going to put them, to down below, maybe in drawers or pull-out shelves or things like that. I have one more doodad, you guys. I almost forgot. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another doodad. This one went with my bedroom. I told you this was my first time doing this presentation, and you guys have been so engaging. You made me miss the whole bedroom. So one of the things that I experienced when I was working in a nursing home, when people would fall out of their bed reaching for their iPhone charger. Not a good look, ma'am or sir, to be on your floor looking for, ma'am, why are you on the floor? I couldn't find my charger. So this is $4.98, and it's a pack of 5. It's a pack of 5. Now, I'm getting way too excited about this because I'm putting these in my house, next to my living room where I sit, and on my bedside table, because this has happened to me. And it only takes one episode of vertigo or a slight amount of dizziness, lightheadedness, or orthostatic hypotension, I don't know where you are in life, to fall because you're reaching for your little iPhone or your iPad charger. This little piece of Velcro sticks right on there for $4.98, might keep you off the floor. I thought this was awesome. They also make really cute ones too, little pigs and stuff. But I thought for five of these, less than $5, you can put one. I know we all have these now. You guys are all shaking your heads. So I know every single one of you has a phone charger, or an iPad charger, or a laptop cord, or some kind of power cord that you keep next to your bed or your couch or your recliner or whatever. and it's fallen on the floor.
But if you have fake leather upholstery, that's not going to work.
Oh, this is for your wood, for your little wood side
Oh.
table.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right.
You just stick it right to your little wood side table. Let's see. All right, y'all. Had to move my glasses. Yeah, I don't know. Look into it. I think you might be able, I don't know if I'd stick it to leather to be true. But if you have one of those cool little things that goes over your arm of your chair, that little wood thing that holds your coffee cup, you could stick it to that. So anyway, I thought these were really cool. I'm going to pass them around. If I don't see them come back, I won't blame you guys. Okay, that was my little bedroom doodad. So I even have my receipt that shows that I purchased all of these products that will increase accessibility and safety in your home for less than $60. I'm going to do a quick recap. We talked about a lot of different levels of things that you can do in your home to maintain accessibility, but most importantly, your dignity and your grace. You know, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have experienced this because I'm super guilty of this as a therapist. Your daughter, in a well-meaning way, or your son, in a well-meaning way, has told you certain things you need around your house. So now you can tell them that you already know. So my main goal today was to talk about how you can make upgrades to your house yourself, inexpensively, with a little bit of knowledge, and keep yourself upright and safe without having to break the bank. A couple little pointers. You don't have to call me, but if you do want to have someone come into your house and do any renovations, ask them if they are a certified aging in place specialist. They're a contractor and they care about aging, they will have that designation. Ask them if they know about it. It is recognized by the National Association of Home Builders. Certified aging in place specialist designation is a very important distinction between your average handyman contractor and someone who cares about you being safe in your home with knowledge about how to do that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, Jodi. And do I see a little bit of cool swag? Or
So, yeah, just a little.
Okay. So after you fill out your survey, please feel free to come up and talk to Jodi and ask any questions. I really appreciate your presentation today so much. I have been in a position where I've helped friends and family members, and of course now I'm thinking about it for myself, try to put in some various helpful doodads. and I did run into a range of folks that I spoke with who said, sure, I can throw in some grab bars, versus, and I was asking them about specific products, and some knew what I was talking about and others did not. So I feel like, it does pay to reach out to the Disability Resource Center. When you're doing your research, look for the certifications that were mentioned, and I think that there's so much we can do in our homes without spending too much money. But also, we want to plan ahead. If there are more robust changes that will keep us in our home longer, we want to be thinking about those too. So yes, like I said, please do fill out that survey. We really do value your feedback, and we do make decisions based on what you tell us and give us ideas for other presentations. Our speakers love to get the feedback. And I hope that we see you at some of the other upcoming LOWLINC events in August. I know it's a little warm, but it's nice and air conditioned inside. And also see you in the fall at the walk. And also our vaccine clinic's coming up on the 26th of September. So let's drive through. You don't have to get out of your car. You can still get your vaccine. All right, well, thank you again. Please help yourself to things on the back of the table, and you can put your items over there on that table as well. And we look forward to seeing you next month, and help me out, Lynn, next month. Yeah. Oh, I know, Joy. Yes. So if you want to experience joy and figure out how to experience more joy in your life, come next month. We have a really amazing, engaging speaker. And that is what this is all about, right? Yeah, we got to do all the things we got to do to stay safe, to stay healthy, go to the doctors, do all those good things. But we're still here, so let's keep enjoying life. And so please come back next month. All right, thank you all. Have a good day.